was thinking about something the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about our reputation.
Okay.
How many times have we heard about it when we go to meet with somebody for the first time? They said, "Oh, I've heard about your company. You got a great reputation," which is really awesome. That's what we're going to be talking about today. But 15 years from now, you know what I think I'm going to be remembered as?
What?
Why are you laughing?
Because I don't know if I want to know this answer.
Why would you? I haven't even said anything yet, and you start
Because
laughing.
I'm really nervous what you're going to say. Okay.
I think I'm going to be known as a very even-keeled leader.
Nate's face back there. Just he doesn't agree with this either.
No,
Why?
I think I'm even-keeled to a certain extent. No,
What is your definition of even keeled?
heavily focused.
Yeah, that is not a
No,
word.
I mean like goal oriented.
You have way too many things that pop up, and I mean,
So in other words, I'm not even.
I don't think that person can change that much in 15 years. I don't know if I believe in that.
And I don't even know if I have 15 years left to work. Okay, so we'll say in the next 5.
We'll find a new reputation.
All
We'll
right,
work on
for
you.
me. But for the company, I'm very proud of our reputation.
Yeah, I know. I think back when people used to say, when we first started, "Oh, I've heard of Paragon before." I'm like, "Are you sure you're not talking about a different Paragon?
Yeah,
because
right.
Have you really heard of us?"
Right.
And now I don't have to ask that question anymore.
Right. But with today's, though, where the guests we're going to have on today's episode is they've been around for 77 years, which is amazing. And you think about the longevity of this business. But that's Tinus Marine here in town in Oconomowoc. And Krysta Tinus is going to be with us today to talk about reputation, which is a very, very powerful form of marketing. So that's going to be coming up here in a couple minutes. Hey everyone, this is Skip Renke.
And Emma Opperman Vogt,
And this is the Main Street Marketing Podcast.
a podcast where we discuss anything and everything marketing.
And today we are going to talk about one of the most powerful types of marketing, reputation. And we couldn't have one of the best guests here to talk about reputation. And Krysta from Tinus Marine, thank you for joining us today.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Krysta works at Tinus Marine, and that is a family-owned operation in Oconomowoc that has been in the community for, which unbelievable, it's 77 years, which is absolutely amazing. So thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Awesome.
So, having said it's been around for 77 years, what's the story behind it?
Behind how it got started?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Well, you're getting my perspective, which, I've learned since working at Tinus Marine these past few years, but I am married into the 3rd generation at Tinus Marine to give people a little bit of background of who I am. But 77 years ago, Grandpa Harold Tinus, he was working on a lot of the homes on Oconomowoc Lake in this area. A lot of old families that are still in this community are on that lake still. And back then is when he started working on their boats, and he just became that go-to guy. And there were people on that lake that saw a lot of potential in him and in the business. He married Grandma Arlene Tinus. And they saw potential in him and said, "Hey, you could have your own storefront." And they ended up buying that house on the corner of Forest Street and Silver Lake Street. And right out of that garage there, which how many awesome things start from garages.
That's right.
Out of that garage, he started servicing boats. And then he soon after built on and started the whole business and started selling Mercury motors, and it kind of grew from there year after year. And the 2nd generation started working in it, has worked in it their whole lives. And now we have the 3rd generation. There's 4 of them right now that I call the Fab Four. So when we're talking, that's what I'm talking about. It is my husband, 2 of his cousins, and his brother as well. So they're kind of running the show right now under still the guidance of Steve and Tim, which is really a great relationship. So
But you think about how much they saw and how much adversity in different times that they saw for 70 years.
I know.
And to have the community still support them,
right?
To make sure that they were still there, but to be there. I mean, that's world wars and economies that are changing. I mean, that's just a lot of craziness, and that's just. I was just thinking about it as you were talking about it. I go, 70 years, that's a lot of different things that they saw.
Yeah, and Grandma Arlene and Grandpa, they were especially Grandma, she was very savvy. They always were strategically thinking ahead of what the next thing is, and they were always trying to prepare for it. A lot you can't prepare for, but
You're right.
The longevity and the relationships like we're talking about today, the reputation, sustain them. It's sustainability through that reputation.
So, with that being said, I mean, how do you think that Tinus has kept the trust of all the customers for all those years? I mean, what do you think's what's the element of the secret sauce that people say I'm not going anywhere, but you think that they brought to the table that they said I'm not going anywhere?
I believe that the secret sauce is relationship. Doing water sports and being in a small community like we have, everybody who lives on the lakes knows each other. We are family. We are relationships, just your neighbors. If you get along with your lake neighbor, everything's great. If you don't, it's not. So there's a lot of relationship driven conversations that are in these small pods, which we call the lakes. Well, all those relationships, generationally, they're just moving down, and the trust that we've always had, we've always been authentically us and provided the best service possible. They know that they're not going to get swindled or tricked or have somebody who hasn't been around and hasn't been through all of this, to come to.
Sure.
We've been through it all.
Yeah, I think that's so important. I think a lot of people view reputation as just like their Google reviews or what people say in those Facebook groups about them, but there's more to reputation. Like you said, relationships are a huge part of that. Is there any other, like, when you think about to you what the definition of reputation means, are there other elements besides relationship that you just mentioned?
Outside of reputation, I would say trustworthiness. People, there are a lot of ways that we could make more business and more opportunities to make money off of our customers, but we're here to help them and just get them through things. A lot of times, though, there are so many times, you guys, people call Tinus Marine just to ask for their wisdom over the phone, on this or that. And it's not, okay, here's your invoice for what we just did for you. Like, we actually care. And I think that they know that if we're going to put our families in these boats, or if we're going to buy into this brand, that it's something that we would trust our own families in. It's really family. There's a trust there. Like, if we wouldn't trust our families on these things, why would we sell it to families and others in the community?
Right.
If you think about the times we're at, everything is super fast. And everything's digital. Nothing's, but what you're dealing with is, there's digital components to it, but I mean, it's a boat, and there's a lot that has. So what do you think from a marketing perspective has stayed kind of, I don't want to say, well, I guess timeless for in your industry? What is one aspect of marketing that has stayed timeless that kind of goes hand in hand with that reputation?
Just communication with our customers throughout the year, whether it's something that we're doing seasonally and we're keeping them informed. Our boat shows, when we would do those, when it used to be in Milwaukee, we're with people and they're all gathering in person. And when we would send out those invites, we make something more personal about it, where it's not just a big blast. It comes from the family. So we keep that family tie and that connection as a big part and push of our marketing, because that matters to us, because that holds so much weight. So I think even just our direct mailers that we do, going into our boat show time of year, we've now recently brought our boat show in-house, which has been really awesome, super beneficial to us, because again, it's bringing people into our house, and this is it's hosting. It's not throwing a big sales event. We're like, come, here's grandma's favorite cocktail. Would you like one? Right. It's a whole different feel than, going into like your today's boat show with all the things around and, everybody fighting for your attention and look at this shiny thing and this shiny thing. Well, that's great, but who's going to stand behind it when it doesn't work?
Oh, yeah.
When that goes south and you bought it from there and this happens, okay, now we need help on service for it. Well, when you buy and you work with us and you buy from us, you know that we're going to stand behind what we're selling and we're going to help you work on it and everything.
We going back to something we talked about with like timelessness, with multi-generational. How many, or do you know? You may not even know this, and I'm not sure, but how many is it? I would assume that there's multi-generational clients in this area that have not. They wouldn't even. They go to you because that's what Grandpa did and that's what Dad did.
Yeah, we have a lot of third generation customers.
That's cool.
Actually, which is fun. I mean, we all went to high school in this community.
Oh, sure.
So it's not only that, like, we have teachers from high school. Some of my favorite stories is when the teachers show up. Oh, this is so great. We get to catch up. I mean, we've been in this community for so long, even me, who married into this family and thought, I'm bigger than this town. I'm out of here. Like, the town wasn't over with me. And I married the town. I married Jason, which was fabulous.
Right.
But here we are, you know, and it matters. And there's so much importance in the roots that we have here from those relationships. Of course, they're like, of course we're going to Tinus. That's where we go. That's where so-and-so went. And we love that. It's an honor and it's a privilege that they do that, because we just want to keep making grandma and grandpa proud, making mom and dad proud, making this community proud that we're still here doing what we've always done.
Yeah, it was interesting you talk about the heritage and like the history. When we started working together, we were over there. We were looking at where the office was up there.
Yeah, the wheelhouse.
The wheelhouse, that's what it was called. That was pretty cool.
It is cool that we do. So we have a spot that not everybody sees at Tinus Marine, which I think is awesome. And this spot is upstairs, and it's Grandpa's wheelhouse. There's an old sign that says wheelhouse. And up there, it's all the wood panel walls. Right behind Grandpa's desk is his, I call it his closing desk, because it has all the shots in it. It has the liquor bottles and like, oh, we're closing on this deal. We're going to do a toast, you know?
Right.
And so that all happened up there, and it's a special space for us. You know, that's where we have our meetings, and we always go back to our roots, like talking with our team and dreaming about our future. Like, that matters.
That's pretty awesome.
That's cool.
That is neat that you have that space.
It was really cool. We love that space.
No, there's so many personal touches you've been mentioning, but over the years, and especially as the company's grown, have there been challenges or hiccups along the way of making sure that the brand stays personal, or has it just been so natural that that's just ingrained in what you do?
No, you know what? It was interesting, because after COVID, our industry here got exposed to I feel like COVID, when that happened, we were exposed to a whole new set of buyers. Like, from out of state, people were just buying on the lakes, and honest to goodness, you have to drive past how many marinas just to get to ours. You know, so we don't have that exposure. So if you're coming in and you're transplanting in, and you're saying, I want this house in the lake, you're not asking the neighbors, oh, who do you want to buy from? So it's a whole different market of people. And for us, that's been, I think, our biggest struggle is, how do we get in front of them? How do they see us? And that's where we've worked with you guys and others with some of the online marketing and getting in front of people and the geofencing, all the stuff that we have to do to be present in their face. And that's been a big challenge for us. And it always has been with our location. It's what makes it more creative. And that's why with the things that we are good at, we just focus more on that, because eventually they become our customer at some point. They need our help for something, and somebody tells them what they need, and they end up coming to us. So
It's interesting that you say that, because you say that, you know, people have to pass a bunch of different, you know, or they could come up here and pass a bunch of different marinas or boat places or whatever, but they come to you, and you're in the middle of a town, in the middle of homes, in the middle of a subdivision, really. I mean, for the most part. I mean, but it's not like you're off the beaten path, but yet they still come to you, and that is because of your reputation.
It's the relationships. Yeah. It's that neighbor on the lake that says, "Oh, you haven't gone to Tinus? Oh no. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, when if you need help, you can always call them, because they're always been helpful for me." And then we get a call, and we're like, "Oh, is this?" It's great. I mean, we're so thankful. I mean, we praise God for these people, because they've been the bread and butter of Tinus Marine since the conception of it, and I think we value that so much, and everything that we do as a business plan and as we move forward, we're always thinking of our customers. It's really important to us. That's our most important part of it.
And maintaining, we talked a bunch about relationships, through this, but and maintaining them is the good service. What is, I don't know how to say this. So as part of the relationship building and the relationship maintaining, is it harder to build the relationship with people versus maintaining it, do you find? So you give somebody comes in, is it harder to build a relationship in this day and age, or is it harder to maintain it? I'm interested in your opinion about that.
So there's always different colors to maintaining relationships, especially if you're talking generational. Right. But the thing that we're working with is fun. So when we're talking to these customers, we're talking about their favorite thing to do in the summer. And so really there's not so much headache or conflict with it. If anything, the longer people are with us, the better service they get, because we just know them. They just call and say, we need this done, and they know we're going to do it without having to ask 1,000 questions. Whereas the new customers or the new people and creating those relationships, I feel like we're in such a world where it is so automated that sometimes it's harder to break through those walls. But truly, once people experience who we are, I think they let their guard down. I think that's why people like coming back. Because they feel, I'll even joke with some of these customers when I make a mistake, like in billing or in whatever it might be, and be like, hey, you're not dealing with AI. This is like a real person. And we make mistakes, and we're really sorry, and we'll make it better. We'll fix it. But at the end of the day, it's like, I think people have a lot of grace with that and really enjoy it and appreciate it because we're just real people with each other.
Right. Do you know who the oldest customer is by chance? I mean, don't know your name or anything, but how old they might be, how long they've been with you?
I have a story about that that'll go with a question later.
Fair enough. All right, sounds good. Well, wait. Hang on.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
So, I mean, word of mouth clearly has been pretty powerful for you. So how do you encourage and maintain that? Like we talked about in the digital world today, your audience post-COVID, right, kind of changed a little bit. Has word of mouth changed for you, or is it still such a strong component?
Still, word of mouth is a big deal, but we also implemented text messaging and stuff to make things a little quicker for our clients, which is really helpful. There are things that everybody wants us as a business to automate everything. Automate your payment, automate this. And Eric and I and the team, we talk about it. We're like, well, then I don't get to call and say, hey, how was your season this year? And have those conversations and invite them to our boat show in January, and be like, I hope I get to see you there. Like having that extra step, like we're removing ourselves so much from connection with people. And we fight against that. Like in our business, we're trying to fight against that because it matters. And I want our customers to know how much they do matter to us. I care that your mom died. Now we're going to have to walk you through, how to transfer your boat into something else. And this is how we've cared for it in the past. And this is how, like, we deal with that with our customers. And that's real stuff. That's life.
People probably so appreciate, like, so many things change about people, but that's probably one thing that's maintained is that need for that human to human contact.
Exactly. There's a connection there that matters. And I think we're in a world where they're trying to just remove that, and we're bucking against it as much as possible because we're not going to be a box store. We're not going to be a mega. We can only handle what we can handle, and this is what it is.
That's really awesome that you're maintaining that. Do you find that if somebody new comes to you that maybe they had an experience where they were trying to automate it, they didn't have that personal feel, and they came to you because they heard that you had that, or they experienced it? Have you had that?
I don't know if it's like, we don't really advertise that part of who we are, but I think that's why people tell others to come to us. I think that's why we get the referrals, because we probably did it for somebody else in another time and had that conversation. Cause
it's part of that word of mouth.
I think our world is losing the value of the client care and how important that is as a business to actually have something like that in place.
Yeah, that's a good point. Many new businesses don't have like decades of history.
Right.
That they have to
or have the right person on the phones doing the things, having the conversations. Conversations are uncomfortable now. It's like so transactional. And yes, we're in a season right now. We're in a season that is very transactional. Thanks for the call. Well, we're turning phone calls like crazy, and we're helping people through scheduling this and that. But still, at the same time, finding those moments of just, oh, this is something I should listen to, or I need to pour back into. Carving that time into our day.
Yeah, and you answered a question that I was going to ask, is like, what advice would you give a business that doesn't have a lot of experience and a lot of generational, time in a community? What kind of advice would you give them? And you're saying just maintain communications with them.
Right, start building the relationship.
Or have somebody who's on your staff who enjoys doing this stuff and enjoys engaging and doing this, because it actually matters. There's nobody else does it.
Yeah, when the day is done, people buy from people. They don't buy from a computer or from a phone.
Right. Well, but we're in a world where people do, and people invest a lot of big money by just swiping and doing, and there is a whole group of people that we're not getting because we're not doing that. And we're okay with that, because we're working with the people we want to work with.
And you're okay with it because you've clearly defined what business model you want to keep and what you want to work with. And and obviously it's worked for 77 years.
And honestly, we didn't know this. Like, I've had to start working at Tinus to even learn this. I remember dating Jason, and Grandma Arlene looked at me, and we were just engaged, I think, and she said, Krysta, you need to be part of the women's club. You need to be part of this and that. You need to go out and do this. And, you know, I enjoy it. I love being part of the community and part of these clubs and stuff. But the fact that she kind of said, you're the girl, go do it. And she was always such a visionary and so good at what she did. Because she carried the heart of this business for so long, because Grandpa died early. You know, it was her and then her 2 boys. So, I don't know, that resonates in my heart, and I take it seriously, and it's like such an honor, and it's fun to do. But it's not, I don't do it just because I enjoy it. I do it because I feel like, okay, this is what I'm called to do. I need to do this.
I think that's so important. You're not just you're not just in the community. You are a part of the community. Yeah. You're involved. What role does community involvement play in your success?
Oh my gosh, that's one of our biggest. I mean, more than even marketing. I mean, I love marketing, and I think marketing needs to happen, but our community involvement is really important, because what we're involved in, we have heart behind. We don't get involved in things that are nationwide. We really want to, whatever we get involved in or stand behind or support is something that pours directly into the communities we serve. So we work really hard, because we're always approached by all over the place, you know, to sponsor this, do that, put your face up on this board. Like, what we're getting, we are trying to be good stewards of and put it back into the community as much as possible.
Yeah.
And so doing that is just, it pays its dividends. I mean, we're working with other business people and other people who are doing the same thing we are, and we just want to support each other.
Yeah.
So
what do you think is one of the most proudest moments of Tinus Marine's 77 years?
Proudest moments?
Yeah. Whether they did something, or they, you know, I'm just curious if there was like something that just leaps off the page. I mean, obviously the 75th, the 75th. You know,
well, the 75th celebration is something to squawk at, because it was quite a special time of inviting our customers. You know, these were customers who bought boats from us. We have a lot of customers who we service boats, but some of them don't buy boats from us. We just service their boats. So, you know, we have different kinds of customers and clientele, but with how many we have, with how many in the Rolodex for 77 years, we had to, you know, narrow that invite down, which, you know, can ruffle, like, well, I'm a customer. It's like, oh, when was the last time you bought a boat from us? You know, like,
yeah, right.
You know, let's have that conversation, which is fine to have, but it is like, you know, at the end of the day. So it was a huge turnout. And I think one of our proudest moments wasn't that event. And I guess I'll share this story here, because this was a really big moment. Back 77 years ago now, when Harold and Arlene started it, there was a few families who lived on Oconomowoc Lake that I was talking about, who saw a promise in Tinus, and they helped Harold and Arlene get it started originally, because they believed in them. They were like, "You've got this." Like, they really helped the start of Tinus Marine. And Augie Pabst, who I don't know if you know from the Pabst family, he was one of those men who really poured life into Harold and Arlene back then, and was a cool visionary for this stuff. So he actually was in his 90s at the time, and sure enough showed up at our 75th celebration. Didn't come in the building, got out of his car. We got some pictures with him and Tim and Steve.
Really?
And it was just one of those full circle moments that pops off the page for me.
That's cool.
That's so special and so sacred. It was a sacred moment. It was really special. It was set apart for, like, I don't know. It was just kind of like a seal for me.
Yeah.
You know, seeing that.
That's a pretty cool moment.
It was a really cool moment.
Gives me
So
goosebumps.
I know. I got that.
story.
I just said that. I got that too. I was like, man, that's pretty awesome.
You know, and I speak of him, and I know he's passed since, and but he was a really important person, and he's still, his legacy still is, I know. So I just feel
to have that come full circle though at that event, that's extremely
it was really
special.
Really special.
That's awesome. Well, that's a lot of great information about reputations.
There you go.
That's amazing. But now we like to jump into what we do is called the rapid questions.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, you ready? So here we ask you some whatever comes off your mind,
Okay.
So what's the best business advice that you've ever received?
Ooh, now this one's specific for family business. I'm going to say this one. They say when you're in public or with your employees, like, so we have family and we have employees, right? We're all kind of family.
Mm-hmm.
But when family's together, we're married, meaning we can talk about the icky stuff when it's just us family, and we can go through some of the grit and the yuck and the stuff we have to go through to figure things out.
Right.
But when we are with our employees, we're dating. They're the best thing. Everything's great. Like, there's something where it's like we don't want to air our grievances in front of we're family, and we've got to make this work. We're making this work. We don't need to be out there with our employees saying anything negative or bad talking. So we always keep it, in my mind, we're dating when we're in public and everything's roses. Everything's great. But we're married when we're together and we're digging deep and we're working on this and making it work. You know what I mean? So that's kind of a perspective that somebody once told me at a seminar somewhere. I was like, that makes so much sense for the family, because it's so hard to say, okay, hey, we're stepping over a line. We got to be really mindful about how we talk about, when you're with family, things happen, and
Yeah, right.
we become the kid or we become the parent. All of a sudden you're like, ugh, wait, we're running a business here as employees. Like, we got to do this, so it's like you have to mind your roles when you're with your people and stay positive.
That's very good advice. What do you think is one thing that people might be surprised about the boating industry?
Those who work in it don't boat that much.
Really?
Too busy working.
People are like, wow, it must be amazing. You're a Tinus. You're on the water all the time. I'm like, I'm getting your butt on the water. And that's what matters, because we don't have the time.
I'm going to ask the question. I know what the answer is. Do you own a boat?
No.
No.
I own all of them.
Oh.
Well, I don't. Tinus Marine owns all of them, but they're for sale.
But do you personally own a boat?
I don't.
Really?
Mm-mm.
That's
we
amazing.
service. It's seriously, yes, we sell them, but we service the community, and that's what we're here to do.
That is pretty. That's okay.
So invite us out on your boat. Is what we mean to say.
That is awesome. I was going to ask you.
And don't ask us to work on it when you invite us out on the boat, please.
We want to be on the boat.
You have no idea. It's so funny. Like, we're at, can you come look at this? She's like, oh my gosh, we just came for a family gathering. Do we not have to look at your boat and see what's
invite
wrong?
them on the
Wait
boat.
till the end of the day.
Don't invite us just when it's broken. We're really fun on a boat.
We'll bring our own coolers. It
No,
doesn't matter.
but how they have it set up, we do have access. We get to use, we have demo boats that we use, and we get out on the water. But honest to goodness, like, you're talking, we service you guys, and our season's so small that it's like, sometimes when we're not working on boats, it's nice not to be.
Thinking
Liable.
about.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you what your favorite memory was, but I think you told.
No,
is
I
there another
didn't.
one? Oh no.
Can I tell you a
Yeah,
quick story?
absolutely.
Okay, there's a fun story.
Okay.
So it was probably my first year working at Tinus, and I got a phone call from a customer of ours who was really concerned because her husband didn't come back with the boat. And I know that they went and just delivered it. She called, she goes, he hasn't come back. I don't know where he is. And he's, just a little bit older and had a hard time getting into this one right now. And so he got in. So she was like, I'm just worried about him. So the guys, I said, you guys, he didn't show up at the pier with the boat. We got to figure something out because we just launched it. Was it launched? And they're like, yeah. So Tim Tinus and Trevor, so Papa Tim and Trevor hop in a truck and they leave, and then another team of the guys goes out to go bring a boat onto the lake. Like, where's our customer? We're really worried about him. Sweet, sweet old guy. Oh my gosh. And they go out to look, and Tim and Trevor go to the house with Mrs. And they walk down to the pier. Sure enough, they're looking on the lake, can't see him, and they're like, we delivered the boat. He was there. Everything was fine. And sure enough, and a minute later, he comes zooming up, and zooming in, and he was just out having a joyride, making sure it was all set for his season. He was having a ball. Nobody was on the lake. He's just ripping it the whole time, having a ball for a little too long. His phone wasn't on. So, but here we go, like that next mile, like, oh my gosh, let's go find our customer.
Party.
He just got lost in the moment.
He just had fun. He's like, what's the big deal?
Well, that's what boating is supposed to be
You know,
about.
it's what's the big deal? And so
But that's why you have a good reputation, because you go above and beyond.
It's a good laugh at the end of the day. Thank God it was a good story. But I remember when the guys came back, they were all laughing like, oh my gosh, I'm so thankful. Everything's okay. Da, da, da. It was just one of those like, wow. You had Tim Tinus, and these guys ran out just to make sure, because they were in such a season.
I was thinking maybe the drain plug came out.
Well, that's what we were like, because it could be so many things, and you just never know.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it would never have been, but who knows? And just like, oh my gosh, we gotta get out there.
Truth be told, I didn't put the drain plug in my boat one day.
You didn't?
I didn't.
Yeah,
and I got
the hard way.
Oh, I did. All of a sudden, I was like, "What the hell's going on?" I'm like, "Oh,
there
shit.
she goes."
Get up. So I hit the pump, get it out. My kids are going, Dad, there's water in here. I'm like, "Oh, really?" Yeah. I'm one of those guys that my best day was my first day when I got my boat. My second best day was the day I sold it.
Oh, yeah.
I was like that. I never got out on the water.
Yeah.
Someday, though, I'm going to get that again.
You will.
So
He's going to buy us a company boat. I'm just putting it out
It just
there, and then
makes
we're all gonna
sense.
go out together.
It just makes sense.
Not?
Why not do the podcast on the water? I mean,
Yeah. There we go. Next summer.
It needs to happen. It's Lake Country, man.
What the hell are you guys doing?
It's happening. I'm selling you a boat. Come to Tinus Marine.
Okay, what's one trend you don't think won't go away? By selling me a boat.
Buying boats. Will never end.
What is something that you've read, you saw, that you've heard, something that is really, that's something that stuck out with you that you might recommend to somebody?
Oh, in books and stuff?
Whatever.
Podcast,
Podcast, a movie,
whatever's your jam.
or TV. Yeah, whatever it is.
Oh, my jam. I'm a total Jesus nerd. Practicing the Way. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. It's
I have heard of it.
a great book and study. I'm in it right now.
Okay.
So that's what I've been kind of doing right now. It's pretty good.
All right, cool. Tell me an unpopular opinion or hill that you're willing to die on.
I'm not sure you'll agree with this one, but butter popcorn jelly bellies are the best.
What? I'm sorry.
Buttered popcorn jelly bellies are the best. I will die on that hill. It is the best flavor. And you can mix it with cinnamon. You can mix it with all sorts of things. So good.
You may be the first and last person I ever hear say that.
I kind of was thinking it, but I'm thinking I don't remember ever trying
you can say it. I will die on the hill.
I don't think I've ever tried them.
No, it's been a long time. I might have to do it now.
I should have brought some today. I should have just.
You
I'm
know
going to
what?
think about it next time.
We're doing that at the next strategy meeting. We're going to try it.
You're going to try it, and you're going to.
We'll let you know our thoughts.
Let me know.
Yeah.
But it's an unpopular opinion. Mm-hmm. You asked.
I don't think I've ever tried it.
We're doing it.
You got to do it now.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm on it. So if listeners take away one thing from today's episode, what do you think it should be?
Well, if they take anything away from this episode, I would say that the relationships matter more than the world wants us to believe that they do. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's under so much attack right now is just transactionalizing everything. Relationships, I think, make longevity and matter. Mm-hmm.
That's a good way to end it right there. Yeah. Thanks for coming on today.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun to talk.
It has been. That's awesome.
I hope you guys got a lot out of that. I don't know.
It was fun. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Well, that was pretty interesting. What did you take away from that?
I think the biggest thing that I'm just sitting here processing is, like, it's so easy to get lost in the digital world and the automations and the transactions, but at the end of the day, relationships are just so key.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
not even just in business, just in general, really. That's what got me thinking.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you say that because so many people, we talk about how people can't talk to each other. They don't know how to talk to each other. Mm-hmm. Where they've been doing that for 77 years, and that's what they're going to stick to. And they've made a conscious decision not to change it. But they're going to stay with personal communication. We're going to call. We're going to follow people. We don't want to get into the digital world. Mm-hmm. And it's refreshing.
Yeah.
Actually, in my way of it really is refreshing where people depend on so many things. They just want to pick up the phone and talk to people.
And they're almost on 80 years and they're still going strong. It's not like because relationships and some of this stuff, like, it's so important to them that they're losing anything. Like, they're going strong.
Yeah, but and the story about them, how they would try to go out and find the guy that was out the boat. That's awesome.
Right? And not that, like, you have to do something crazy like that and do that all the time, but, like, there's times when going above and beyond is going to massively impact the reputation of your business.
Well, right. But look, but they would do it every time. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. You don't have to, but they would.
Yeah.
Because that's just who they are as people. And that's just absolutely awesome. But I thought the other thing I thought was really super cool was that it came full circle with Augie Pabst. Mm-hmm. How he saw the possibilities in the business and then came back 75 years later. That's
right. You want to not just full circle for them, but probably full circle for him.
For him, right? But but if you think about it, how often does that happen?
Right.
That's not something you hear about
story.
much in the way of business or anybody anymore, and that's a pretty cool moment. I'm glad they were able to experience that for their brand. That was pretty cool. That was awesome. Well, thanks for watching us today. This has been the Main Street Marketing Podcast. I am Skip Ranke.
I'm Emma Opperman-Vogt.
And you can catch our podcast on anywhere you get your podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get them.
Or visit our YouTube channel.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us today. Stop back next month. We'll see you soon.